Next, we'll look at the volume of pyramids and cones. These are both pretty similar. If you have a pyramid and a prism, let's say you had them and they had the exact same base. That pyramid, okay, so I've got some pictures here. Let's say this base shape is the exact same. This pyramid is very similar to the prism. In fact, it's exactly 1/3 of the volume of the prism. Okay, so it would take 3 pyramids to equal the same volume as the prism. So that means that this prism equals 3 times the volume of the pyramid. And there are YouTube videos that show this. There's YouTube videos that have, someone made a hollow pyramid and they filled up exactly 3 times to fill up a prism that's the same. Okay, the way we're going to use this is that if we want the volume of the pyramid, we're going to take 1/3 the volume of the prism, which is what we learned to find in the last section. Cones are the same way, so cones are also 1/3 of the volume of the cylinder that would have the same. So this is also 1/3. So let's look at some examples. Now what's nice about this is we don't have to have nice orthogonal prisms. Okay, our height doesn't have to, so the peak doesn't have to be right in the middle of our pyramid. We just need the overall height, from base to point. So if we want to find the volume of this, first we're going to find the volume of a prism that would have the same base shape. And the volume of that would be 1/2 apothem times perimeter times the height. But we're going to take 1/3 of that since it's a pyramid. So we've got a little bit of work ahead of us because we don't know what the apothem is on our hexagon here. Okay, so I'd make this right triangle like we usually do. Okay, this piece here would be 1/2 of a side, so it'd be 3.5. I need to know what this angle is. Now it's 1/2 of a central angle. The central angle in a 6-sided shape is 360 divided by 6, which would be 60. I want 1/2 of that, so this is a 30-degree angle. I need to know what the apothem here is, so we use trigonometry. If you notice, this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if I take the short side and multiply it by the square root of 3, that will give me my apothem. So it's 3.5 times the square root of 3. Now I can find the area of the base. Let's see, our perimeter would be 7 times 6, which is 42. So I can take 1/3 of 1/2 of my apothem times my perimeter. Okay, I'll just bring up the calculator to do this. So I'm going to take 1/3 of 1/2 times apothem times perimeter. I got 42.44 for my volume. Since these are centimeters, these would be cubic centimeters. Whatever dimension you're measuring, that's what goes on your units. So we're measuring a 3-dimensional volume. Right? Volume is 3-dimensional measurement. So this is cubic centimeters. Let's look at another one. Here's a cone. Now for the cone, we've got the height here. Our height is 12. Okay. I don't really need my slant height when I'm doing volume. I just need to know how high it is from the base up to the point. Okay, so this is going to be a third of the volume of a cylinder that has this base. And the volume of a cylinder with that base is pi r squared, area of the base, times the height, which is 12. Let's type this in. So we got 1/3 times pi times 4.5 squared times 12. 254.47. And whatever the units are, units cubed. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Nothing. The only new thing is we're taking a third of what we were finding in the previous section.